Welcome back. I'm Chris Moore with HVAC Pro Blog, and this week I want to talk about how the way that we think about HVAC training is broken. Without further ado, here's the training. All right, don't get me wrong. I've benefited professionally for almost 2 decades now on the traditional methods of training. I'd pack rooms for as long as 8 hours a course, sometimes part of a multi-day seminar with multiple speakers, PowerPointing people to death like I did in the Marines. Traditional training was actually fun. Okay, some of it. But as an attendee, if you took just 20% of the content back with you and implemented just one idea, then the session was a tremendous success. Why are we okay with this poor ratio? This would never fly for any other part of our industry. Imagine 20% close rate for the sales team or an 80% callback rate for service. This just makes zero sense. And I have a feeling that since you're consuming my digital content, you're on the same page. I don't want to send my team to off-site training in fear of losing them to another contract. Have you ever said this? This has to be one of the most ridiculous statements I hear as a reason for not investing in your team. If you pay them a fair wage, invest in their future, and treat them as true assets, you'll be contributing to the non-tangible reasons to stay with your company. If the installer and technician leaves for just $1 more an hour from your competition, you have more problems other than just this symptom. The reasons employees chat up their companies are because they truly enjoy working for them. These are your best recruiters. And at a time when labor is in short supply in most trades, I completely understand the irrational thoughts of mixing in with other companies at training courses. When it comes to this idea that you'll lose employees if you send them to training, this can easily be countered with the alternative. What if you don't train them and they stay? Here's another one. Too busy. I can't take the time out of the field for training. I've heard this one many times. And the root cause for this tends to lead back to scheduling and commitment. If this is where you stand, then you are valuing the billable hour over investing in your most important assets. What's ironic, the cost of callbacks if you don't hold regular training for all parts of your business far exceeds the cost of paying your teams to train. Regardless of the size of your company, you should plan on a regular cadence of training, which actually can definitely vary based on the season. One option you should not have is canceling training because it's too busy. Think about the message you're sending to your employees. If you doubt me on this one, I have to ask, do you ever measure the hours of callbacks for your install and service departments? Do you know what the reasons for the callbacks were? If so, you guessed it. You have a syllabus for the first few weekly trainings, even if it's less than 30 minutes a week around regular install or service meetings. You should also consider making training and results a regular part of your performance development. If an employee asks me for a raise, I would ask them what they've learned recently that makes them more valuable to the company. Also, have they implemented this new knowledge in order to improve? An employee that has a thirst for knowledge will go much further in HVAC compared to those who have no interest in learning anything new. Like marketing, you should have a training calendar, planning out seasons in advance. By doing this, you're proactively planning around the seasonality of the industry, not reacting to what is available for training in the next week or two when you're not busy. And who isn't busy these days? All right, next one, the reaction that, it's just another salesman pitch. Having the right audience in the right class, believe it or not, is the responsibility of the contractor, not the trainer. If the class is for salespeople, then don't send service team members. If you're not sure, ask before enrolling your team members. I'm not gonna lie, I hated this as a service technician in the mid-90s. Towards the end of the workday, the manager would ask me if I was interested in some training at the manufacturer's location, which typically included pizza. I was like 18 years old with nothing going on during the work week, so I always said yes. I also always went expecting that the content would be specifically tailored towards me, like a typical young adult new to the industry. So with all these irrational concerns, lack of measuring KPIs, not planning, and just overall poor effectiveness, why do we continue to send people to training that they don't value at the wrong times of year when we can't afford it? Maybe because this is the old way and the only methods right now available. I've taken the approach of providing recorded content, right? on-demand learning for the basics, and providing follow-up training for the exact needs of the people or the company. I do this via Zoom, so there's no travel. I can schedule it early or late when it's more convenient, even on weekends. Yes, I miss the in-person trainings when I could tell a joke and 200 people laughed. But if the past year or so taught us anything, it's that technology like video conferencing can be quickly adopted by all ages. And more focused learning tailored to the student's exact needs is more valuable than the alternative. There's still a place for traveling to seminars when it's safer to do so, like now, right? But go there with the expectation of forgetting 80% of the content and most of the motivation for change by the time you get home. Why not get with the times? Your employer wants you to. Thanks for joining me this week at HVAC Pro Blog, where we provide advice for residential system design, quality installation, and system diagnosis. I'll see you soon.